Hi, my name's Alan Wong. I'm president of Turnkey Multiplex. One of the first things people always ask after I explain to them how Turnkey is different is that they always ask, how did you come up with this idea? It's totally different than what any other developer or builder is offering in Metro Vancouver. And I think the difference is we started from the idea of how do we make housing more affordable. By starting with trying to answer that question instead of how do we make money or make more money, you end up with a different result. Let me walk you through how we came up with this answer. And this will be, again, a lot of numbers, so that's the way it is. To understand how we went about analyzing how to reduce the cost, increase the affordability of housing, let's look at two different pro formas. In this case, on the left-hand side is standard Burnaby Multiplex. Currently, they're both identical. I'll modify it to show you how it changes. On the right-hand side is the turnkey version. We're looking at a 33-foot lot by 122 for 4,000 square feet. It costs $1.7 million. And currently we're allowed 1.8 FSR with 4 floors at a 45% coverage. That means the buildable square feet is 7,246 or $235 per square foot, buildable square foot. If you look at the standard designs in the Burnaby Housing Library, they're all vertical, having, like, for example, this double duplex, they have stairs inside. I don't consider stairs they count as square footage, but I don't count it as usable square footage. So each set of stairs is 100 square feet. So you subtract that out, you get effective square footage of 1,411 and $301 per square foot. In our version, we put in a staircase and an elevator, a common staircase. So each unit is its own floor, totally flat, all usable square footage, with 2 nice balconies on each side. So you have windows in all 4 walls in this case. So you have $291 a square foot for usable square footage. Now we drop down here and you'll notice, okay, so we can't do anything but the land cost. You're buying from somebody. We're not going to knock down the land cost, and if you want, comment below and I'll explain why it's a bad idea to try and modify that. But for the hard costs, since you can see our design again is vertical, it takes less time to build. There's less cutting of wood, there are less pipes in the walls, and you don't care how much pipe there is as long as the wire gets where it needs to go. Same with electrical, etc., etc. So we designed the building to be as buildable as possible. We can't do anything about ACDCs, which are city fees, but really they're less than 3%. It doesn't matter. It's not the big thing. Okay? Now, this is where you get into where we're using a different methodology here. So, we reduce the soft costs because each of our buildings is the same. There's less engineering, there's less lawyer work, etc., etc. We can knock down the soft costs by at least 3%, possibly more as we go on. And we eliminate the developer profit. So what we do is we partner with the landowner and they get to keep the developer profit. So if they selling it to their family, then the developer profit doesn't appear. Otherwise, they can mark it up some, however much they want, to the 18% or higher or less, whatever they want to do, is their land. But the homeowner, the current landowner, gets to keep the developer profit. We're not taking it. Turnkey makes its money in the construction and in development management. We work for our money, okay? As I explained in some of the other videos. So to make it possible to get this thing financed, we're not going to be able to use regular banks because I've talked to the regular bank, the big three. They won't do it, but other people will. So let's just mark. There's a possibility you won't be able to get credit unions to do it, but I haven't had any uptake yet. So let's just mark it up to 10%. But here's the thing. I don't need to get money for investors, so I don't need to pay exempt market dealer fees. That's zero. You're still owning the land, so we don't need to pay for that. That goes to zero. We're going to pre-sell all the properties ahead of time that need to be sold. So again, that goes zero. And we're at, our build is faster. We can do 10 months or less. Initially we're starting with 10. We plan to be able to get to 6. And if you talk about our future plans to drive it down even more, when we get to a certain level, we're assuming 30 to 40 multiplexes per year. Then we're going to build a factory to do panels. So it won't be modular factory, which I think is, you can watch my other videos on modular factories. I think it's a bad idea. So we feel that we can reduce our build time to 4 months. And actually, I should leave it at 6 months for now. So right now we can save 30% off the cost per square foot. From a dollar value, we can save 28%. From square footage, it'll be a little more. That means 2 people making $100,000 each can afford it. Now, if we're going to try, in the future, we're going to try and if we can manage to get volume, we're doing 30, 40 per year. We're going to build a factory in Burnaby to make panels. That should reduce the cost or the time by 2 months, and the build cost by reducing a lot of the labor, we think that we can reduce it down to $200 a square foot. Although inflation by that time may have eaten up part of it. In that case, we'll be 37% lower. And that's our goal.
If you're interested in more videos about the struggle to make housing affordable in Metro Vancouver, please like and subscribe for the latest news. Thank you.